because people really don't know what causes their cancer. They go in and get a diagnosis, and their oncologist will go through a minute or two of the human genome and genetics, and which is a bunch of gobbledygook, and then he or she will throw his hands up in the air and say, "We really don't know." And I would say to that patient, "Gee, I don't want to go see that guy. He doesn't know why I have it, or essentially what it is. I want to go see someone who knows." That's the walking it backwards. You know, cancer is caused largely today, well, this much of it is genetic, very little is. If you're carrying a BRCA1 or 2, you know, a defective gene, which is possible, but it still doesn't mean you're going to get cancer. We drink the right water because the right water, the right ionized water heals. Our bodies are electric. Our cells run at a certain millivoltage, and if they're not there, you're sick. You're acidic and you're inflamed. Most people are that way today because they've got chronic sickness and disease. So we have to change that. There's not many ways to change that. How do you change the millivoltage in a cell? Used to be you eat a raw, vegan, organic diet because vegetables are very, very alkaline. Alkaline, millivoltage, they work together. And so, and many say are exactly the same thing. But now the best way to do it is through a specific kind of ionized water that runs at -300 to -800 millivolts, and it will raise that cell voltage. If you don't raise the cell voltage to 50, -75, you're not going to heal. You need that voltage to heal. And so very few people know about that. Dr. Jerry Tennant wrote a couple books on healing is voltage. I encourage everyone to read those, and you'll understand why this ionized water, and I promote specifically Kangen water because I have not seen anything that is comparable to date, and you'll be able to understand how it works. And the common layperson can get that, and they can understand how it works, but it's incredibly important. Some people will want to give me heartburn on that, but I said, no, I've done the research. I know what works and what doesn't work because we test them in the human body. You can test everything you want in the Petri dish. It's not the same thing, folks. And you can tell me this isn't good for people or this isn't good, but you better darn well show me the research. And I'll show you the research. And most cancer patients need to get more nutrition than they can. When people are very sick with cancer, they turn to comfort wherever they can find it. Sure. Most of that is in the wrong foods and the sugar. So it's very difficult for them to eat anything. And so we're not going to get them to eat 5 pounds of organic kale and 5 pounds of organic broccoli and 5 pounds of organic carrots and so on and so forth every day. But you know, they really need that overwhelming nutrition that is inherent in those types of foods, those phytochemicals, the phytonutrients in there. So where do you get them? You get them from synergistic supplements where you can get rough equivalents of that, and you can consume it. A cancer patient can then consume it and kind of flood or overwhelm the body with nutrition, which is not only imperative for cancer patients, but others who are struggling with sickness and disease.